What is up, Minnesota Vikings fans? Welcome to the Purple People podcast. My name is Kyle Smith. I'm glad that you guys are back with us. I am here with Adam Carlson. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. I was going to remember before we go, tuck the cords behind the beard.
Pro tip.
I'm trying to get there. This baby beard going on. I'm trying. I felt weird. I put in like the beard oil and all that stuff, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
it's finally got it back, but I need that full one. I need a Viking beard. That's what I'm going to work.
One of the weirdest things though is going from worrying about closing your hair in the car door window, from like now I'm like pulling my head away from the window every time I roll it up and there's no hair. It's just stupid looking now.
That's all right. You did it for a good cause, though. That was really cool. Kyle West is here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I think this is the most on-time podcast we have ever had. We said 8 o'clock, and it's like 8:02, 8:03, and we are recording. Maybe that's a sign of good things to come.
That's what I said starting. I was like, oh, my God, we're on time. And Adam Carlson's like, well, technically, we are a minute late, which is early for us. And we're always messing around and like, this is probably why we're not on a major network among 5,000 other reasons. But we are here. We are glad to have somebody's already watching. Welcome in. We have a lot to talk about on episode 487. There's something about Bradbury. Oh,
there is something about him. He sucks.
he's getting worked in camp right now. And it's, you know, I'm not looking forward already to week 2 if he's playing and starting. I see that monstrous guy from Philadelphia that they drafted, Jordan Phillips, maybe. That's a guy that's gone to Vikings. Whoever the D lineman is that the Eagles got this year, he's a man-child, like gargantuan human, and he's running one of their guards backwards. And I was like, oh, that's not good. It wasn't Travis Kelce, but I digress. I wanted to talk about Garrett Bradbury today because there's been a lot of negativity online, and we can kind of see what our feelings are there. But we have a lot to talk about, guys. We've got training camp. There was a night practice. There was an inspiring speech by the coach. And now if you're in the Twitter age like we are, you can get live updates from camp, like play-by-play if you refresh your Twitter. And it's a lock on training camp.
But the main story we're going to discuss is Mike Zimmer taking that writing position.
This isn't new news. Why is everybody talking about this now? This happened like last week.
I think it's now surfacing to people because literally no one knew what Team 33 was. I didn't know what that was.
I told you guys.
I still don't know what it is.
It's because you don't scroll up.
I don't scroll up.
Kyle's the worst, and he had the best reply. He's like, I don't get paid to scroll up. It's like, all right, that was a good one. Speaking of Mike Zimmer, we can talk about Team 33 and what they do, but Kirk Cousins did an interview today, and he was very classy, and I couldn't be a bigger fan of Kirk ever in my life, not even as a Viking fan, just in general, of how classy his answer was, because he could take shots. Who cares? And a lot of the fan base is not happy with Mike Zimmer. But he was asked, hey, Ben Lieber said some things. It's been, heard around. Colin Cowherd's got a major voice in the sports broadcasting community. So whether you love him or hate him, his stuff gets out there. And Ben Lieber, paraphrasing here, says, yeah, Mike Zimmer didn't like Kirk, did not like each other. And Kirk was very gracious. And I'm paraphrasing again, but he said, hey, he was very good to me, and I enjoyed my time here. And the main thing that I love that he said, which is true, whether or not he's just trying to be the nice guy and be the PR face of the franchise, I bet every year that he was here, and I went to the Pro Bowl twice. So I enjoyed my time with that coach. What do you guys think about that? I have a feeling you probably like that too, but kind of classy, and it's right on par for Kirk Cousins.
I wouldn't expect Kirk to say anything different, really. I mean, that's not his personality to come out and be like, yeah, fuck that guy. Like, that would have been that would have been shocking to me. I get it. I think it's a fairly political answer. What his true feelings are towards Mike Zimmer, we'll probably never know, but I respect that he said that. And I like the way he's trying to kind of close the chapter on that era. And I think a lot of Vikings fans could learn from that, probably us all included too, to like, hey, just thank him for his time and be classy, like Adam says at the end of every episode here on the podcast, and like let's turn that page over and be done with it.
I feel like the conversation might have been a little different if they'd have asked Kirk a little more about some of his offensive coordinators over the years. I don't think he would have been as positive about spending time, because I feel like Zimmer and Kirk were kind of hands off each other for the most part.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kirk could say he enjoyed his time with them because, the only time they really spent together were in those meetings, starting 2 years ago or something like that?
Well, he did mention some of those, Adam, in that interview, but he still took that classy high road that he's going to take. He's everything that general managers want and owners want in a quarterback. Then he had his typical Russell Wilson answer ready, but he did say that. He goes, I'm going to my 11th season. I'm on my 8th offensive coordinator. And I feel bad for the guy. I really do. But I'm not going to break down that whole interview and tell it to you guys. You guys can go watch it. It's on Vikings.com. I see YouTube. But it was day after practice was over. But there's some interesting stuff, too. These are very good questions from the interviewer. And I forget his name. I apologize. But talking about the Rams offense, he goes, hey, are you studying Matt? What'd you think of that? Blah, blah, blah. The cool thing that I heard from him talking about the Rams, the scheme, Kirk is so smart on how he breaks things down to the layman person like myself. But he said, you got to think about Matthew as this kind of thing. He came from Detroit, but not only the offensive weapons they have, but they have the number one defense. And he just makes you think about different things, and he's very good. Like, all the while I'm getting these answers, and I'm like, ooh, and I'm playing into it as a fan. In the back of my mind, as a miniature podcaster here, I'm thinking, he dodged the shit out of that question pretty good. He's very good at this.
He's pretty good at doing that.
He's answered a couple of these before, but they felt genuine, and he's such a likable guy. So I just wanted to highlight that too. Go check out that interview. It came out today, Vikings.com or YouTube or whatever. Pretty, and it's lengthy. It's a good 20 minutes. So, but let's go back to what we were talking about originally. Team 33. Adam, I know you probably don't want to beat it down because it was a week old, but I feel like you're probably the expert on it. But from what I'm collecting, it's an analytics group, and there's some familiar names in there. Not only Mike Zimmer, but Wade Phillips, among others. These are big football names. Rick Spielman's in there.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
So I just don't really know.
He's part of it, former offensive coordinator for the Rams. He's part of it. So they got some interesting names in there. I would be curious to read it if it's not locked behind a paywall, which I assume it's going to be behind a paywall. So
I wonder if they own Spielman's TikTok now.
Oh God. Every time we talk about it, my body just goes. I posted that on my Twitter. You guys can follow me there. I'm gaining a little steam now in the Viking community, and I'm loving it. At Dog, if you want to get funny, me just talking shit on Twitter all the time. But I said, can someone please tell Rick that he's making us uncomfortable? Because it's not, they're not flattering, and it's just, it's that old man thing where they hold the phone like this. It's like, man, come on, man. We got to teach you about angles and stuff. All this money you made, you don't know how to use technology the
just
cool
go
way.
Up a little higher with it, Rick.
And we know he's got the studio set up because he has the stuff from like the virtual draft and stuff like that. So we know he's got a decent setup.
So that's a good point. You forget about during the COVID year that all those guys were doing it from their house, which is awesome. It's kind of cool to see that in real time. But what's up, Jonathan? You and the wife watching too, or is it just you? We have to know because if she's not,
we got someone that's hanging out the whole time over on the Twitch channel. So that's good stuff.
Heck yeah, I love it when Adam's Twitch channel can get some love. He deserves it. He does a lot of other things too. We'll talk about that later on Twitch. Good plug there. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You have to find out. You have to watch the whole episode and find out.
Oh,
yeah, that's cool.
Clicks.
Just me tonight. All right, cool. You guys ready to talk shit about Charlotte the whole episode? Kidding. We're kidding. We love you too.
I've always had a feeling she hates Delvin Cook. I don't know why.
Jonathan, you got to confirm that for us. Does your wife hate Dalvin Cook? Please say yes on his birthday today. That would make everything awesome. Happy birthday, Dalvin. Yeah, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about training camp before we get to this depth chart thing, which is really, I don't want to say it's odd, but it's unique because I've never seen it before. But what have you guys seen from training camp? Since our last episode, Twitter has been talking about matchups. You've maybe seen videos. What is probably your most concerning? What's your favorite thing? And what's something you're looking forward to? Because I named the show after Bradbury. Everything I've read about Barry getting work was not what we wanted to hear. Yet again, we're going to draft another center, it looks like, soon, or trade for one. But he's on the team. He's viable, but he's not the best. He's the weak link in the offensive line. What have you guys been seeing that you thought was worthy of the show?
Well, a couple weeks ago, we were going to go winless and have the first overall pick because Kirk Cousins didn't throw to receivers in like February or March. But I've changed my tune because it was yesterday or today on Twitter. Someone had video of Kirk sticking around after practice throwing to receivers out on the field. So now I don't see a loss on the schedule, and I think the Vikings are going to be undefeated on this coming season. So
Kyle, you're wrong. That only evens it out. He needs to do both.
Right.
He needs to tell his wife and those kids to tough it out. All right. It's football always.
So I have never seen more diverse opinions on a first-round draft pick than Lewis Cine at the moment. Some people are already like, oh, well, he's got to be busting out if he hasn't earned a starting role yet. It's like, really? You know, and then you get him in training camp, doing the work, getting some reps, and then they're using him in ways like having that third safety in the field, using him down in the box. Right now, they're just trying to figure out what all they have in him. Yeah, there's no use in rushing him into the lineup. I believe it was Chris Thomason who shared a tweet about how a lot of Vikings first-round picks didn't even get to start until week 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's the use in rushing Lewis Cine in if you've got a player that's filling the role and you can bring in this game changer at times to come in and do what they need to do? Now, I understand some fans are frustrated. Yeah, he was a first-round pick. Yes, he currently is not listed as a starter. And no, that doesn't mean he's a bust. I mean, give the kid a little bit of time. So far, I think Lewis Cine is doing all the right things. Not only is he on the field working hard, doing everything that's asked of him, he's on social media. He is gathering a large fan base of his own, not only of the teams, but just by including the fans a little bit in his life and sharing with them some really cool things going on with him. So for now, I mean, don't be a little too early on knocking down Lewis Cine, because I still believe he's going to be an absolute monster, and I have not seen anything anything to make me question that he's not going to be as advertised.
I think the Vikings are kind of hiding him a little bit right now. Like, they don't want to tip their hat as to how they're going to use him come week 1 against Green Bay, because I believe this kid is going to have some packages out there on the field for him.
Yeah.
Some exotic looks, some things that we haven't seen here in Minnesota coming from the 4-3 defense before on how they're going to be using him. So should we be worried about where he's listed on the depth chart? Absolutely not. I think this kid is going to do great things for Minnesota. I don't care how they have him listed. Like,
it's absolutely crazy to see the overreactions to his placement and how he's not running with the ones in training camp. It's like, calm down.
Yeah, that's.
Can we also shift it to everyone last year with one game, or the year before? I think this is maybe his 3rd year, because Harrison Smith went out for a game. I feel like he came in and did great the COVID year. I went to the Houston game that year, but Cameron Bynum, guys, you got a guy who's familiar with the team, who's really good. Is he starting, replacing Harrison Smith? Whatever, is he that elite? I don't know. Probably not, because Harrison's like an all-pro, decade-long player. But he's familiar and he's damn good. And spoiler alert from the main topic today, he's the starter opposite Harrison Smith. Shocking, I know. The guy that was already on the team. It's okay.
I know the Vikings
It's gonna
used their
be
first
all
round
right.
draft pick on Lewis Seen, but if they hadn't, I'd have felt okay with Bynum being the second safety on the field. I'd have been more than fine with that.
Yeah. It's
But
also
now they've got depth and rotation. They can use packages. They got a guy that can bring in and out for rests. This could work out really well because they're gonna go up against some really high powered offenses this year, and they are gonna need that help in the secondary if something happens at the front end. They can't slow down the passing game of their opponents and disrupt the quarterback. So, I mean, for now, yeah, it would be great if Lewis Seen was running with the ones, but I don't think he has to be.
It's also an entirely new defense, and I don't think that we should undersell like the switch from the 4-3 to a 3-4 defense. You want to make sure your Harrison Smiths of the world are getting the necessary reps to make sure that he can run this defense the way it needs to be ran. So that's another reason too why maybe you're seeing Lewis Seen running with the backups instead of getting first team reps. You got to make sure Harrison Smith is up to speed, up to par out there on the field as well too.
Can I just say too, this is in the neighborhood of what you guys are talking about. Well, Adam mentioned a fun Twitter follow. I'm talking about Lewis Seen, first round this year. Vikings. There was another great pick this year from the Vikings who's fun on Twitter. Caleb Evans. My God, every day that I look at this guy on Twitter, he's like, "What's up, Viking Nation? Skull, like, let's go grind, blah, blah, blah." I don't know if the kid's going to start. I don't know how long he's going to be on the team, but I love this energy. That's a lot of fun. You should check him out if you have Twitter and you use it pretty often. He's such a positive guy, and he is so grateful to be there. He's a lot of fun. I wanted to shift to cornerback group because I feel like it's the weakest point, or was the weakest point last year that wasn't the tight end or the offensive line in the interior, right? Going into the last 2 years, it was like code red, like hit the bell alert. We're dying out here. Out of the shell of Patrick Peterson, there's not really anyone else. Now I feel like there's a little more continuity. I love what I've been seeing in highlights and hearing about Andrew Booth Jr., second round pick from Clemson this year. This dude is scrappy, and I saw it somewhere. I don't know if it was in the chat with us. I can't remember because my memory is going, but we're about to do joint practices with the 49ers soon. I was like, what's the over-under that he's going to start a fight there at least 1 or 2 days there, because he's just going to be talking shit to whoever he's playing against. And we need that swagger there, and I love that. I love that so much, but it makes me feel so much better because as of right now, the depth chart has Patrick Peterson and Cameron Dantzler starting. So
I've been hearing great things about Dantzler's progress.
Yep. Randall said, anyway, you look at it, Peterson won't tackle. Smith needs new blood out there. I could see a little bit of that. We didn't get to see Peterson tackle a lot last year because they weren't throwing the ball his way. The respect is there, which is nice. I don't think Peterson was bad last year. He's certainly not who he was 6 years ago, but he was definitely the cornerback number 1 on this team last year for sure. And whether that's good or bad, like he solidified, like, hey, it's me and then everybody else. Figure that out. What's up, Andrew Skull? How are you? We are talking about training camp, some of our favorite battles, stuff we've been hearing so far. Can we talk about the offensive line and the guard position? Ed Ingram getting some work in there with the ones today. This hasn't been consistently happening, but they're rotating these guys around and seeing how they do versus different talent. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Who do you think the guard is going to be week 1 at the right guard position?
Well, I can tell you who it's not going to be, and that's Wyatt Davis. So this is interesting. I know a lot of Vikings fans last year were like, my God, this line is so terrible. Why not put Wyatt Davis in and just see what happens? And we were all kind of wondering why that didn't happen. We thought maybe it was on the coaching staff. Well, it turns out the new coaching staff has taken a look at him, and I've heard that Wyatt Davis is running with like the 3s out there. This kid, he really must not be good. I don't think he's gonna make the roster. Wasn't there speculation that came out that Spielman was told by the scouts to not even draft him, and he went ahead and did it anyway?
I had heard that.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
no.
not correct. So this is another.
It's such a weird thing though, because the game tape on him is so good coming out of
Right.
college. I was so high on his ability to come into the NFL.
Isn't he
and play
from
well,
Ohio
and it
State
just-
too?
Yeah, it just didn't translate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it sucks too because you got to remember coming in from that big of a school, you're gonna have pressure. You're a top, first set was he a 3rd round pick, so you're an upper pick there. But he was injured too, and the team is in turmoil, and he had like every roadblock in his way. But I don't know. Wes might be right. He might not even make the team.
I seriously, I don't think
is a liability. That means whatever competition they brought in and whoever they drafted is better. But I mean, if the floor is down there, like let's get away from that and bring the average up, man. Because
correct.
we got to have a strong guard, which I trust Ezra Cleveland. I have all the faith in the world.
He'll be fine.
That center and right guard position still kind of makes me feel a little uneasy, a little queasy there. But yeah,
I've been on here multiple times telling everybody that Ed Ingram is going to win that job because he's just an absolute bulldozer on the football field. And now that he's running with the ones a little bit and he's getting a chance to show what he can do against these big guys up front, I only feel like it's a matter of time before he gets that job solidified. Now, it doesn't mean that Jesse Davis isn't going to get some time either. He's going to be a high-quality backup, be able to play both guard spots. And even if he ends up starting, he could be able to slide over to left guard and Ed Ingram could come in and play right guard. And I don't feel like there'd be a big drop-off of any kind. So having that competition and that higher floor at guard already makes that just so much better.
So my question to everyone in the chat and to you two fellas is, this has been going on literally since the season, started back up. You take those 5-6 weeks, everybody goes on vacation, post Super Bowl hangover, blah, blah, blah. And then we get back into the draft and all that. Would you guys be okay with, would you even want JC Treader on the team?
I won't pretend like I'm an expert on him. I will say there has to be a reason why he's not signed anywhere else. Like if he's the best available center and like no one else is taking a flyer on him, that doesn't make me super excited to bring the guy in right now either. Everything I've heard about Garrett Bradbury is not good, which should not be surprising. I don't think any of us were high on him. I really don't know why they've continued this experiment for as long as what they have.
You got to see what you got out of a first-round pick, and they've got him on a cheaper contract, for that rookie contract, and
they didn't do the 5th-year option, so
this is it for him. This is his last chance.
It's gonna bite.
And if he ends up losing his starting job to Reed, I mean, what can you do?
Celebrate that someone's better in the position. I mean, it sucks for him because he seems like a really nice dude, but yeah, you can't be getting mauled on every play. And let's go to the opposite of that too, since we're talking about position battles.
I've been hearing Harrison Phillips has just been pushing him around so bad.
Yeah. Well, I know where you're going there, which is great, but I'm going on the line. We're going to switch from the interior, go to the exterior. I've been hearing nothing but awesome things about Christian Darrisaw and also Brian O'Neill and Daniil Hunter going at it every day. I hate that corny ass term, iron sharpens iron. I hate that so much. But when you're playing against that kind of competition, it's going to be pretty rare day at work for you. Not everybody's going to be as good as Daniil Hunter. There's only a couple of guys that are better. So I love that. But I saw it from shout out to Luke Braun. I saw your Twitter today. It was flooded with a lot of plays, but he said, I everything you've heard about Darrisaw that was good and that we wanted to see, it's here.
I've been seeing so much Darrisaw hype, like a ton of
Let's
it.
Go.
And I am not absolutely sure where it's coming from because I haven't seen individual blocking plays like footwork or strength to pancakes, anything like that. I haven't seen them. So I'm still a little skeptical. Don't get me wrong, but I'm liking what I'm hearing.
Is he going to be what we wanted out of Matt Khalil?
Well, Matt Khalil was what the Vikings wanted out of Matt Khalil until his knee started deteriorating, and then it was just absolutely done. And then Matt Khalil did the whole, I'm not doing medical help on my knee, I'm doing holistic stuff. And oh boy. But those first couple years with Matt Khalil, they're pretty darn good.
He should have did the Aaron Rodgers approach if he's going to do holistic stuff.
Well, I'm hoping that Christian gives us a lot longer stretch where he's with the team and that we have that position solidified, because that's a really important one out there on the offensive line. That would be a nice parting gift from Rick Spielman if he hit on that draft pick, which it seems like he did.
What's up, Cliff? Cliff says you guys are going to miss out on Moxley versus the Lionheart. I don't even know
we were
what
this
that
close
is.
to getting those tickets. AEW's in Minneapolis tonight. They got some big matches on the card.
Oh, that's right.
Fun.
That's Moxley and Jericho for the title, right?
Interim
That's
title,
cool.
but yeah.
Interim title, but yeah. That'll be a fun match. I like those two.
That's the only match
Andrew.
on the card I was really looking forward to be honest. And I'm not even a Mox fan.
I haven't been following much AEW lately, but
Andrew says glucosamine can only go so far. What about tea that makes you trip balls? Do you think that helps your knees? I'm very interested in this stuff.
maybe.
Also, I'm going to go on a totally non-Vikings rant because I said this the other day, and I just want to talk shit a little bit. But we all know Aaron Rodgers is a knife in our back for this division. He's been 4-time MVP. He hasn't owned us like the Bears. I think it's been pretty close to split or maybe slightly favored to them. But I made this assumption the other day because Twitter is just full of people who know how to get under my skin. They're like, yeah, he's the best to ever do it. And it was like, maybe not the best to ever do it. Maybe top 10, top 5.
Well, you guys want to talk about something? When the Vikings ran that package saying thank you to Anthony Barr, oh my God, did that get the Packer fans riled up?
I've never seen a more sensitive, ass-hurt group of people. If they only did that play and then they just said, thank you, Anthony Barr, light them up. Light them up. Like, that's all right, dude, we know what you did, but it's a tackle. And you know what it wasn't? It wasn't that 2009 Saints game where they were trying to kill people on the field. That was a foot play. Get over it. I want to say other things, but there might be children that listen to this or people who don't like terrible words, but is Aaron Rodgers just Brett Favre without the interceptions?
He's better than Favre.
Favre didn't give as crazy of interviews as Rodgers did, I don't think.
They're both just like, oh man, the talent on this guy's ridiculous. I agree with you, Kyle. He is a better quarterback than Brett Favre was. I don't know how much he would have held up because nobody would played as many consecutive games as Favre. But I just laugh at that so much, man, because everybody, oh, he's going down as the best ever. And I'm like, I get the defense sucks sometimes, but dude, if you don't win another Super Bowl, which I don't think that they will, it might be up there. I even ventured to say, just to piss Twitter off a little bit, was I think Patrick Mahomes is going to pass his career. And people don't like that. And I'm like, well, he's already almost there. Well, he's almost. He played that. I was like, yeah, but he's already done everything Rodgers has done. He just needs like 2 more MVPs, 3 more MVPs. That's it. Am I crazy for thinking that? I don't know.
I really don't think so.
I was actually watching a TikTok of these football talk guys, and they were discussing whether or not if Patrick Mahomes retired right now, is he a Hall of Famer?
Huh.
And honestly, he kind of is.
He is. I think he is. And you know what's crazy? I think Lamar Jackson, if he had the credentials that Patrick Mahomes has, plus he has the running ability, now he would have to win a Super Bowl MVP. But you go to 2 Super Bowls, you win one, you get the MVP, you win an MVP yourself. That's pretty much it, man. Like, you went to the mountaintop. But that's why I asked that question, because, and this goes into the argument we can have every show till the end of time about quarterback wins. Are they a stat? Well, this team won because of this. And which do you nitpick most? Is Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl, and I get that it's a team sport, and I know he's phenomenal. When you watch him play, he's like up there with Dan Marino of like, holy shit, I've never seen somebody do it this way, this good consistently, right? But you only have 1. Matt Stafford's got one now, and I don't care that he went to the super team. I don't care.
Yeah,
that just means Detroit was fucking terrible the whole time.
And then to bring this back to a Vikings discussion, the Matt Stafford thing is interesting to me because for the longest time, when he was in Detroit, him and Kirk Cousins were kind of always put in that same tier of quarterback rankings. So, Matthew Stafford and Kirk Cousins are the same. Stafford wins the Super Bowl, and like you said, it's not just him; it's the team and the coaching and the situation and all of that.
The whole package.
now, a lot of people jump and put Stafford above Cousins. When, if I'm being perfectly honest, I would take Cousins this season right now over Matthew Stafford. Like, I would rather
do that. Tell us why.
I think that was lightning in a bottle for Stafford, and I think that you will see him start to decline coming into this year, and I think that Cousins has more of an upside coming in and playing this year in Minnesota.
I also,
very well said,
as much as I have supported and encouraged Matt Stafford throughout my many years on this podcast, he was a bit of a liability in the Super Bowl. He was not very good.
We forget that towards the end of the season, Stafford was trying his best to Matthew Stafford them out of not getting to the playoffs and into the Super Bowl.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Like, some of those guys on that team got humbled. Like, as good as he is, and I still think he's the best corner in football, Jalen Ramsey got some work put on him in the playoffs. Work.
Smith, can you put Clifford Tate's comment back up there?
I sure can. Can you believe it costs $40 to watch preseason games for non-local? Ridiculous.
7-day free trial. Sign up NFL Plus. If you are not in market, you will get your preseason game.
Yeah, and you want to know what pisses me off? Let me tell you what pisses me off right now. So I'm between paychecks. Dude, I'd like $100 in my checking account right now. I fucking got charged like $70 for the new, for an auto payment for that new NFL Plus thing because I was subscribed to Game Pass like last season. And I know 100% for a fact that I canceled Game Pass so that this wouldn't happen. I'm so pissed off over them right now for this.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's all just a big conglomerate too. It's just how many things can we throw at you so you'll be addicted to watching everything, and we'll have it all together while they get rich.
Also, the Vikings preseason game is the only one on Sunday, right?
I have no clue. I just know they're playing the Raiders in Las Vegas. That's
it. I believe it's NFL Network.
Let me check. I thought I read the date on that wrong.
Because I think the Vikings are the only preseason game on Sunday. I think the rest are Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I just paid about
Sunday,
4
August
times.
24th, 4:25 Eastern at the Raiders. The
Correct.
new look Raiders.
And NFL Network?
Let's see. Sorry about that. I got out of the Vikings app to answer that question. What I want to do is look and see what the schedule is. That will be NFL Network.
Okay, yeah. So if you're out of market, NFL Network, good to go. If not, NFL Plus, you can use that 7-day free trial.
Or
and I think you can get 2 Vikings games for that.
Okay, sweet. So let's see more. Preseason week 2. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., 7:30. So you have the Giants at the Patriots at 7, Titans at the Rams tomorrow at 7:30. Friday, there are 4 games, 5 games on Friday. Jesus. Okay. Falcons at Lions, Browns at Jags, Jets at Eagles, Cardinals at Bengals, Packers at 49ers. Saturday, Panthers at Commanders, Chiefs at Bears, Colts at Bills.
Don't say Commanders.
I know, the football team.
Thank you.
Seahawks at Steelers, Dolphins at the Bucks, Saints at Texans, Cowboys, Broncos, Rams, Chargers. And yeah, that's crazy. Adam, I had no idea. Last one, Rams, Chargers Saturday. We are the only Sunday preseason game. Okay.
All preseason games will be on NFL Network. Not all of them will be live, though. Some of them will be on delay. So yeah, I mean, you should be able to catch a replay of the Vikings game too. I believe it's live on NFL Network, and then there will be one replay at least.
Are we
Okay.
expecting any of the starters to be playing at all during preseason?
Me, yes.
You think?
I don't see how you
Yeah,
can
it's-
have a new offensive scheme, running a new defense, and not get your starters at least one series of reps.
There we go. All preseason
I
games
want-
are on NFL Network this year.
I want
You guys
to
are
agree
understanding
with
out
you,
loud.
Adam, but O'Connell has been pretty. You can tell he's a younger, newer coach on the way they're running practices. Like, they are not even going to be running the maximum amount of padded practices that they're allowed this year in training camp. Like,
That's
they're
right.
just taking
11
time
out of
off.
16.
And so right or wrong, I don't know. I just think that we're not going to see the starters in preseason.
So, what are you guys' opinions on the foam helmets?
Hey, if it helps player safety, I'm all for it.
I
They
give you
look
the
kind
Mike
of-
Tomlin answer. Exactly what Kyle says.
Yeah.
If it helps, so the way he explained is I watched him, which is got to be awkward too, because Kurt Warner played against the Steelers in the Super Bowl and lost to them, and I would still be pissed about that 14 years
Yeah.
later. But he was interviewing him, and he said, you've kind of spearheaded safety or been one of the top coaches to talk about it. What do you think about the helmets? And Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Steelers, says, okay, if they wear these, one person hitting their head is supposed to reduce concussions by 10%. That way, if two players do, it reduces both of their chances overall by 20. And I was like, okay, that's not a lot, but it'll eventually get better and better and better, and they'll figure stuff out. If it helps the players, I mean, why not? They look goofy as shit, but
Yeah.
they're whatever. That's fine. You know what else looks goofy as shit? When the Vikings do those big head mode pictures
Oh,
during
that's
the
stupid.
season, it's like
I hate
it's so
those.
dumb, but whatever. I mean, I'm not the one out there getting chased around by these gargoyle humans. So
Hey, man, it's practice. It's practice. No one wants to have your starters go down in practice. So if this helmet will help keep our starters or any of the players on our team safe, I'm okay with them looking a little dorky out there if that's what we need to do. Like, I'm all for it.
Tang asks you guys about Bengals practice. I'm not surprised.
You can go
His
hang out
son's
with his
there. He
boy.
got people.
Go to his
Yeah,
old
he
stomping
probably
ground.
called that in to help him get another job. Like, that's what it is.
I don't really have an opinion on it.
Good for him.
Good for him. Yeah. Enjoy your life.
Getting out of the house.
Enjoy your retirement.
Stretching the legs.
I've said it before. I follow his daughter on the old Instagram. She's very nice. He hangs out with the grandkids, and he's doing the grandpa life. I am not convinced he's done with football. Maybe he'll take a year and let all this shit settle. But
I want to say
it's
the
cool.
Vikings have been lucky with injuries during training camp, but for some reason, my mind always tends to forget that Irv Smith Jr. is on this team.
Oh, man. You know what we need to do? I said it on the old Twitter machine the other day. Just take Bradbury out and put him at tight end. We'll be all right. Put him and CJ Ham out there. That's your tight end package. Figure it out. Who knows? I saw him run last year. He looked all right.
The Teddy
24-yard
the Teddy
from the big
Bridgewater. The Teddy Bridgewater injury always makes me want to wrap every starter in bubble wrap and just be like, nope, no preseason, no contact, no nothing.
I still
I
can't
don't
believe you
wanna
were there
see-
for that Greg Childs injury.
Yeah, the Greg Childs one was wild too. That was something else.
I don't want to see video from Teddy getting hurt, but I do want the audio from that day because I want to know what really happened there, because there's been some rumors floating around about that, and I just want to nip it in the bud to see what really happened.
But otherwise, the Vikings have been pretty lucky when it comes to injuries. But preseason's rolling around. We're going to get a little bit more physical action. And hopefully they can keep things upright and good.
Yeah, Clifford, that's why we named this episode after Bradbury guy. Getting worked in camp. Jonathan says, I knew Irv was going to get injured again. His year, sigh. Well, yeah, we need a tight end. I've said this multiple times on the internet. We need to heavily look at center and tight end early
Johnny
and often
Munt.
next year in the offseason. Yeah, it's Johnny Munt season. There you go. I did.
mean,
you know what's good though? I did the other day, and I didn't tell you guys this because I didn't want you to laugh at me, but we can all laugh at me now since I'm going to say it publicly. But I missed football so much. I said, who won the Super Bowl last year? The Rams. So I just typed in Rams Super Bowl season, and they did it from the moment Stafford got signed. They did a little montage. They got Von Miller, they had OBJ, all those guys, and then they do a game by game up to the Super Bowl. I did see Johnny Munt dressed during the Super Bowl, so he was at least ready to go. I mean, that's positive, right? At least he wasn't in the jogging suit or whatever the track suit they have.
That would suck.
Wouldn't it?
Imagine,
well, not really.
Yeah.
You could just sit there and be like, "Hey, I got a Super Bowl ring. Fuck you guys."
That would still suck, I would think.
I don't know how long it'll take Irv to get ready. They expect him to be ready for week 1, but if he's not, I'm sure they'll find some combination of blockers and pass catchers to make the offense work until he can come back. But then there's that question mark of how long will he be back?
Yeah, and it's a minor injury. It's nothing lower body, which is great. It's a thumb surgery that already happened. And head coach Kevin O'Connell said he should be back for week 1. But we just, you've seen flashes of what he can do. He's I'm not going to say he's a dominating force, but I mean, he's pretty reliable. I don't remember him dropping a bunch of passes. I remember him scoring some touchdowns. It's just the health has been
great with the yards after catch.
At the same time, I'm hard pressed to name an Irv Smith catch. It's like, oh, he doesn't drop a lot. Yeah, but I don't really remember shit from him either. So
I remember the touchdown dance because it was very lame. Because he just did right here. And I was like, oh, come on, such a white guy dance. Do something better.
I'm exaggerating a little bit. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's going to be tough to sign him to a long-term contract if he doesn't stay healthy.
Oh, that means they'll get him on the cheap.
Yeah.
Well, the other part of that too, Kyle, to your point, and kind of, I don't want to say opposite, but from a different lens is if you're putting up Dalvin Cook numbers and you miss 3 games every year, fuck it, I'll pay you. You're going to stay on the field. You're guaranteeing me 1 or 2 games where you just take over. Like the COVID year. Remember when Dalvin Cook rushed for 4 touchdowns against the Packers and we beat them in Lambeau?
Yeah.
If you give me that a couple times a year and you're on the field for 75%, hell yeah, I'll pay you. But I don't know what this kid's going to be. I just know that he's super athletic. Go ahead.
The thing with Cook is that he's going to miss 2 or 3 games a season, so you have to plan for it, and you have to have the backup like Madison who can step in and take over and shoulder the load while he's gone. And that if you're going to roll with Irv Smith, you have to have your Madison backup there at tight end. And do we have that on the roster right now? I don't know.
Well, it's a good thing you asked about the roster because we're going to talk about that right this second.
Oh,
the Vikings released their unofficial depth chart.
Yeah, buddy.
And there's some odd stuff going on here because I don't know. Maybe you guys have seen it. I don't have. But instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at position, we have starter, backups, and then the word or. And I don't know if we're going from left to right, meaning the person on the left, and then the or means that's the number 1 backup, and then the second. I don't know what that means, but they're playing some weird games in Viking land, and I'm okay with it to a degree, but it's different.
Can we start with the co-backup quarterbacks?
That's exactly where we're going to start, Kyle. Starter is Kirk Cousins. That's going to be your starting quarterback. Shocking, I know. Backups, as I read it from Vikings.com, Kellen Mond or Sean Mannion.
Okay. That really clarifies a lot for us. Thank you.
They are the only other 2 quarterbacks on the roster.
I said it today. Again, I've been very active on Twitter the last 2 weeks. Just sign him as a coach and go get Kyle Sloter or somebody. And just literally sign anyone. Just get him off the field.
So let's look at the positive in this. That's what we do. We try to be positive. This, to me, means that the Vikings are going to give Kellen Mond every opportunity to succeed in preseason. They want him to be their quarterback number 2. We know that Sean Mannion is what he is, and I think them leaving it open like this is their way of signaling to all of us that, hey, we are giving Kellen that opportunity. So when it doesn't happen because he sucks, don't blame us. We tried.
I think also too, to Andrew's point, he goes, I don't know what's going to say about quarterback too, they're just playing coy a little bit. They're not going to name anybody just yet. They're trying to do that advantage, like, well, we're not going to tell you who our backups are. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, but you told us who your starters are, But yeah, they're doing starter and then backups, and they're doing and it goes into running back. Starter is obviously Dalvin Cook. Backups, Alexander Madison is firmly listed at 2, Keenan Wangwu at 3, Ty Chandler at 4, and a person that I've never heard of in my entire life at 5, Bryant Koback.
Yep, him.
But that's
He's
cool.
a guy.
That's a person. But yeah, Cook, Madison, Wangwu, Chandler, and Koback. Those are your running back in that specific order. Fullbacks, we have CJ Ham as a starter, which I love that they still kept him. Backup, Jake Vargas. We've heard of him before. Here's an interesting one, too. This is the one that gave me the biggest head-scratching, headache, confusion.
This was the pause moment where I had to read the paragraph like twice.
Yeah. Wide receivers. They have 2 starters in Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. There's controversy there. You need to put Justin Jefferson first. I don't appreciate the slander, Vikings. No, I'm kidding. Backups. They have them in groups. So I'm not really sure how to process this. Backups. KJ Osborne and Amir Smith-Marset.
I'm assuming that's second team.
Could be.
Okay.
Makes sense going down the list because you see the names and they start to trickle down to, okay. After that, BC Johnson, Myron Mitchell. After that, Tristan Jackson or Jalen Naylor and Dan Senna. Albert Wilson by his lonesome. Thomas Hennigan and Blake Prohl. Prohl is on the active/pup list. So,
okay. Let's unpack.
Here we'll break that down
I
again.
keep getting crap for leaving Albert Wilson off my 53s. And look how low he is on their first unofficial depth chart.
I've never heard of Thomas Hennigan in my life, and Blake Prohl is not practicing currently. So
who cares about those
he's limited role. But yeah, it goes Thielen, Jefferson, Osborne, Smith-Marset, BC Johnson, Myron Mitchell. And then it's going to be a toss-up between Tristan Jackson or Jalen Naylor.
It also looks like Smith-Marset might be the favorite to be the punt returner this year.
Ooh, very nice.
Well, Naylor is making the roster because I don't think you can stash him on the practice squad without someone else snagging him. I think he's had enough flashes so far in camp. He's quick. The grouping thing is interesting to me on how they did this.
Well, you have a lot of wide receivers too. You got to get through, but he's going to be the absolute. I believe Jalen Naylor would be the very last wide receiver they would keep, depending on who he beats out. Because Thielen and Jefferson, Osborne, Smith-Marset, BC Johnson. I mean, that's 5 right there, and you've got 2 guys ahead of him, in Mitchell and Jackson. So. But I agree with you. I don't think that he would last. Heard nothing but good things about this kid.
You do the first 5 that you listed, and then you keep Naylor as 6.
Mm-hmm.
And Naylor right now is the primary backup, kind of fighting Smith-Marset for that punt return job. So who knows? Maybe he'll win that and get a spot on the roster through that way.
Andrew, I think you will get to see Jalen Naylor in preseason. I'm very excited in that. Tight ends starter is Irv Smith. Backup, Johnny Munt, Ben Ellefson, Zach Davidson, Nick Muse, and Sean Byer. Probably keep 3 tight ends, maybe 4, maybe.
I'd say 3.
Depending on how they're going to use CJ Ham, 2 or 3.
Yep, always forget that. It's a good call, Adam. Starting tackles: Christian Darrisaw at left and Brian O'Neill at right. The backups right now: Blake Brandel at left tackle. Oh, Jesus. There's another Udo on the team, and I can't say. Oh, it's Oli. Oli's back? Is he on the team still? I thought he left. Oli Udo at right tackle, not guard. Okay. I did not know that was his first name.
No, he's not still on the team.
Well, he's on the unofficial depth chart at right tackle.
Did we Mandela effect into an alternate universe where Oli Udo is still a Minnesota Viking? Because that's
he didn't go anywhere.
Well, he's not. And he's a tackle in this one because he played a lot of guard last year.
Well, he ain't making the roster.
Right now, he's a backup right tackle to Brian O'Neill. So
bullshit.
Veriden Lowe is the third string left tackle, and Timon Parrish, third string right tackle.
I thought he was in Chicago.
No, you're thinking of Dakota Dozier. They're going to start him at guard.
What
a dumpster fire Chicago is about to be. Good God. They have been shitting the bed since the season started. So glad I can get that GM. Woo. Interior offensive linemen. Starters Ezra Cleveland at left guard, Garrett Bradbury at center, Jesse Davis at right guard. Backups include Chris Reed, left guard, Austin Schlottman at center, Ed Ingram at right guard, so he's officially listed as a 2. Kyle Hinton as the third string left guard, Josh Sokol center, Wyatt Davis at right guard as the third string right guard. So yeah, you might be right there, Kyle. Huh. Trying to pick some of these names. I'm trying to go through my head to be like, you're out of here, you're staying. I'll do that later. So that was the offense. Let's go through the defense really fast. This is a thing that threw me for a loop too.
Is fun.
And well, it is fun because there are people in positions that I didn't expect to read their name off, but I was like, oh yeah, we switched. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like, we have new positions here, folks. This is fun.
Defensive ends. Normally we would say Everson Griffin and Daniil Hunter. Defensive ends in 2022, Dalvin Tomlinson and Armon Watts.
Woo. Big fellas.
I like me some Armon Watts. So
I like me some Dalvin Tomlinson. So this is going to be fun.
He's good. He's good too.
Backups: Jonathan Bullard, James Lynch, solid player, Jalen Twyman, Ezi Atamaweo, Julian Taylor. I did not know Julian Taylor was on the team, but hey, there you go.
That's a tough place to try to make this roster. There's a lot of talent.
It's such Vikings football, man. There's so much depth here. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Nose tackle starters: Harrison Phillips. Backups: TJ Smith, T.Y. McGill Jr., and Tyrese Stevenson.
Been hearing some good things about Phillips. So.
Oh, yeah. Not too sure about the backup there as long as he can stay healthy, but Harrison Phillips has been killing it, so that's cool.
Right.
Here's where things shape up a little different. This is what you would normally read as your defensive ends before, but they are going to be the outside linebackers in this defense. Starters: Daniel Hunter and Zadarius Smith. Backups: love to see this. Patrick Jones II is listed as number 1 backup. I guess he's having a good camp. DJ Wanham, Luigi Villain. Villain. I like that name. Janarius Robinson, Andre Mintz, and Zach McLeod round out the outside linebackers.
There's another talented group of players on this team.
Mm-hmm. Inside linebackers: Eric Kendricks and Jordan Hicks.
There you go.
This is interesting. Troy Dye and Brian Asamoah, who is a rookie, which is great. And look at old Chaz Surratt up here, third strings. He's the number 1 of the thirds. And Blake Lynch, I like that. Ryan Connolly, middle linebacker, is on the active PUP list. And then there's another name I cannot pronounce.
It is weird not seeing Anthony Barr listed. You know that?
It's been a long time without him.
Yeah.
Where is it at up here? We had it, and I didn't put it on the screen. Barr is here in Dallas now. Good job, Jonathan. Yeah, he signed a deal with the Cowboys. I'm hoping his knees will hold up, but I'm glad to see him still playing. Ole has some blackmail on someone. That's so funny. Yeah. All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this. Cornerbacks. Starters listed right now are Patrick Peterson and Cameron Dantzler. Backups would be Chandon Sullivan and Andrew Booth. Second string. Third string, Chris Boyd and A. Caleb Evans. Fourth string, Perry Nickerson and Harrison Hand all the way on the 4th. Nate Hairston and Ty Smith round out the cornerbacks. So I'm way more confident in this corner group than I was last year and the year before. Way more.
Still not a lot of talk about Chandon Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
And he should be getting a little bit more attention because he will likely be the nickel starter.
Very nice.
Booth is going to work his way up that depth chart.
But he ain't going to be nickel. They'll have Booth on the outside.
Yeah,
he'll be out there. I just hope that for Cameron Dantzler's sake that he blossoms into what we think. So we have this problem of who do we start because they're both great. Because we've seen flashes from Cameron Dantzler. Big fan of him. Safety, we talked about this earlier.
Both of them to play. Hey, if both of them play well, that works good. Patrick Peterson is here for one more year, and then he leaves, and then you can kind of shuffle between those two and figure it out.
Yeah. I'm greedy. I want 2 more years of Patrick Peterson, but I don't know if he's going to hold up that long. Safety, the starters are going to be Harrison Smith and Cameron Bynum. Backups, Lewis Seen and Josh Metellus. Miles Dorn, Mike Brown. It's a good safety group. We'll see if Lewis Seen can make his way in to beat out Cameron Bynum, but if he doesn't the first year, it's going to be okay.
He's going to be fine. He'll be fine.
Kicker is Greg Joseph. He's been doing pretty good in camp. We've read. Everybody shut up and don't talk about it. Thank you.
They cursed us.
Punter and holder Jordan Berry and Ryan Wright is the backup for the punter and holder position. The starter is Jordan Berry. Long snapper is Andrew DePaula. And kickoff returners. So kickoff, not punt. Kickoff returner. The starter is Keenan Wangwu. Backup is Bourne and then Handler. Punt returners, as Adam mentioned earlier. Starter is Amir Smith-Marset. Backup is Jalen Naylor. So that might be his saving grace, as Adam mentioned, for him to make that wide receiver 6 spot. But I know that took a little bit. We wanted to name everyone. You can go to Vikings.com and you can check out the first unofficial depth chart of 2022. I'm sure they'll release another one before the final, but got to get some preseason games in. We'll get some evaluations in. There will be Vikings on a football field playing actual football, so that's pretty fun. I'm excited
After
about it.
the Raiders game, I think I am going to do a mock 53 roster because those are always fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't ever do shit like that. Kyle, let's team up. I don't have to take any of your ideas, but I'll just get a little help from you there. I don't want to bother the expert here in the chat.
I am not an expert.
No, not you. I don't want to bother Adam with
good.
That. He's probably going to do it.
Mine would go up on the Viking Age if I did one. So
exactly where I was going. I'm not going to bug about it. He's going to promote stuff, but there's the unofficial depth chart. We just wanted to talk a little bit about training camp today, and we'll give you some updates after this preseason game sometime next week. Do you guys have anything else you want to discuss? I can't believe it's already been an hour.
Do you think the starting center for the Vikings is currently on the roster?
Yes.
Yep.
Smith? I think so too. I know that there's been some speculation out there in Vikings Twitter, Vikings fandom, that they are going to sign a player, a free agent, J.C. Treader, or they're going to make a trade. I don't see that happening. If they were going to, they would have. They would have months ago, but they decided
it's too
to
late.
roll
Yeah, it's too
Bradbury.
late now.
Yeah.
Barring injury, it's too late. And like you said earlier when we were talking about Jason Treader, I would love him to have him on. Wish they would have given him a chance. Bring him in. If he sucks or his knees aren't good, he doesn't have to make the team. But they, for whatever reason, they didn't even want to give him a call. So
now there is something interesting here, though. There is a free agent out there that Las Vegas has as the Vikings' favorites to land.
Ooh, who's that?
I know
it's
who you're talking about. Ndamukong Suh. I'd be 100% okay with him coming on over.
Suh.
I'd be okay with it. I don't think that. Let's be realistic here, Adam, and let's just call it what it is. He is not the player he used to be, but he's still a good player. I think that did he win a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, or was it just last year?
I believe he did.
Yeah, he's got a Super Bowl ring.
That's cool.
He's also stomped.
That was a stacked defense, just an unreal physical defense. But I can't turn away talent coming to this team, barring a Deshaun Watson situation. If you have talent, but you have that, like we don't want you. But hey, come in, do some work, and maybe do a 1-year rental like we did with Sheldon Richardson. Fuck it, who cares?
So who do you sit then at end?
Let's see. At end, I did not close it. Who would I sit at defensive end? Armon Watts?
I like Armon Watts a lot, though. That's the thing.
I don't know if
I don't see.
I don't know if Suh's better than Watts at this point.
Yeah,
I know that's a kind of bold take, but I don't know if it's enough of an
semi bold. I mean, I liked it.
he's
roll
got
with
more
the guy
name
that's here, but
recognition, and so fans are gonna love it. But I'm telling you, you got to stick by Armand Watts, man.
And look, Andrew in the chat's already with me.
Yeah.
I'll be the anti guy here. Fuck it, bring in Sue. It can't hurt you.
It can hurt that salary cap, though. You got to roll that over. You got to sign some players next year. Got to get some big deals going. Got to start saving up.
Adam.
Got to start saving up for Justin Jefferson.
I would believe you, Adam, but the salary cap, as we all know, is a myth. So.
Oh, you can bend it, but eventually it will break.
I know the Rams are going to be awful here in a couple of years. They're going to be so bad because you're not going to have any draft picks to sign. Like, even if you let the guys go, like, well, we can't draft anyone because we don't have any picks. Hopefully, they bring from Los Angeles over to this team. But yeah, that's all I have.
That's okay.
We'll let you guys know.
He's going to get like $1 billion to announce on like Amazon Football or some shit like that. So by the time their salary cap's all fucked up, he's going to skedaddle out of that team.
Well, it's also the New England thing too. Like, Brady and New England are not the same. I can't wait till Aaron Donald finally says, you know what, I'm going first ballot Hall of Fame. I'm out. That defense ain't going to have the same oomph as they do. That dude's a wrecking ball. So
you know what I can't wait for? We'll end it on this one. Aaron Rodgers, please retire. Just like I don't want you in the division anymore.
Who is one player on another football team that you just enjoy watching them play?
Josh Allen.
Which
Russell
one?
Wilson.
Yes.
Which Josh Allen?
Yes. No, obviously the quarterback. I like him, and obviously Mahomes. Mahomes is so much fun to watch. I mean, when you just put your bias aside and it's like, he's Brett Favre all over again. I love it. He's just having fun.
When me and my nephew get together to watch football, there's one player that we both just watch and love to watch and enjoy, and it's Vita Vea.
That's a solid pick, Adam.
And everybody else's eyes are elsewhere on the football field. But if you're just watching Vita Vea, it is so much fun watching him throw dudes around.
Yeah, he's a big old meatball. Good. I find, he's fun. Be cool if Minnesota would have had him for a stretch of period of time. He seems like a good football player. Another team definitely. Oh, sorry, I was going to keep going down the list. I'm trying to think. I can't remember anything because it's been so long since we watched football. I'm just itching for it at any point at this time.
I don't think we do a prediction for a preseason game, do we?
No. Hey, here's my prediction. Everybody stays healthy. There we go. Everybody stay healthy. Don't care about it as much. All right? Thanks.
Here's my prediction. The Vikings are going to run a real base offense and defense, and Twitter's going to be pissed off. And they're going to go, oh, my God, look how fucking terrible. Oh, they can't call plays. The defense looked like shit.
They didn't draft for shit. These guys suck.
Yep.
And Jonathan, you don't have to say it. He was my third choice. I picked quarterbacks there. Aaron Rodgers is fun to watch. I hate when he plays this team, but
players at big positions, man.
Mm-hmm.
Boring.
Well, I couldn't think of anything, not sexy to pick because I'm like
Winfield Jr., man, he's fun to watch.
He is fun.
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
And then there's the ultimate between the, oh my God, what a great play, and what the heck is that guy doing? Trayvon Diggs.
Ugh. Oh, what's up, Fire Breather? We haven't heard from you for a minute. Said watching the new AEW Dynamite going to Charleston, West Virginia. Nice.
Oh, it's so
you have to let
fun.
us know how that was. We discussed, if you don't mind, I'll plug it since we're ending the show now. Go back and watch the episode. We talked about training camp, Bradbury. We did the unofficial depth chart rundown. Just talk about position battles. First preseason game is Sunday in Vegas, 4:25 Eastern time. So, but thank you for joining us, man. It's been a minute. Sorry.
Okay, before we go, I got to ask you guys a question because I must have missed this. When did A-Rod start being A-Rod and start being A-Rod? Was it when A-Rod retired? Did he inherit it?
I don't know. I just love the guy's personality. The more he stays out, he's just
because A-Rod is Alex Rodriguez, right?
Correct.
And
famous baseball
A-Rod
player
was
for the
Aaron
Yankees.
Rodgers.
Yes.
And people just stopped A-Rodging, and now they're all A-Rodding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know when A-Rod Alex Rodriguez retired, so I couldn't tell you when, but I do love watching the guy. And the older he gets, the less he gives a shit. Hey, you know what? I went here this summer and I did psychedelic drugs, and I'm going to camp as Nicolas Cage. Like, you know what, Aaron Rodgers? I see you.
Yeah.
Well, we might as well
Let's
start
plug
the
some
plug.
stuff.
Yeah. I got my stuff over on the Viking Age. There'll be an article out in the morning about some players who could possibly, in some way, replace Garrett Bradbury in this offense. So that will be my article that will be out in the morning. Otherwise, there's a lot of great content over there on the Viking Age. On Undead Walking, I put out an article or two, maybe a month. Usually not the sexiest pieces, but, you know, there's some good news going on in the world of The Walking Dead. Tales of The Walking Dead starts on Thursday. I believe this episode is a little bit of a nod to Alpha, which should be a lot of fun. But Tales of the Walking Dead going to be a lot of fun because one of my favorite and most fun actors in the planet, Terry Crews, is in it. I love Terry Crews.
He is a lot of fun.
I do stream every once in a while over on my Twitch channel. Of course, this podcast airs over on the MN Viking Zombie Twitch channel. I sent a bunch of movies over to Smith. Must not have liked any of them. Didn't reply back.
I'll get him. I'll find it. Hey,
But,
you know what, man? We'll do something. I'm in the middle of buying a house. I was supposed to close today, and it's not happening until next week. So, I'll find a time to squeeze it in there because I'm off for the next couple days. That's my bad, man.
No worries, no worries. But yeah, I got that stuff going on over there. You can catch me on MN Viking Zombie over on Instagram, on the Twitter, on the TikTok, wherever you do stuff. MN Viking Zombie is probably where you'll find me.
This is where you can buy stuff from Kyle West. Kyle West, what could I purchase from you if I go to this website?
Stuff. Sorry, I'm getting tired. You can buy photos and, stuff. You should.
You should check it out, and you should stalk him relentlessly right
Social
here.
media.
This is social media.
The link to
stalking.
Kyle West Shop is pinned on the top of our Facebook page. You can go there, give it a click, give it a lick, and just kind of search through and see what you like.
I, for some reason, am just a glutton for punishment. I got a really weird message today, so I'm highly considering making all my stuff private. But here's my stuff if you would like to follow me on social media. I have some shows coming up here in August and September. So if you're in the Charlotte area, come out and catch a show. But yeah, that's about it for us, guys. Thank you for everyone who joined us in the chat. And shout out again. Nice to hear from you, Fire Breather. Andrew, Jonathan, Cliff was in there. Who else do we have up here at the top? Randall Soul.
Lots of good
Thank you,
folks
guys.
in the chat.
Appreciate it.
Always a good time. And we'll be back next week, talk about what happened during this preseason game and what it could mean moving forward. And that'll be a lot of fun, too. So in the meantime, stay classy, Minnesota.